as you descend into the heart of Vietnam, where time slows down and the wind blows like history itself. This is Central Vietnam, a land shaped by the silence of kings and the breath of its people. Once, in Hue, where emperors built their thrones, and in Hoi An, where lanterns turned into dreams, these two cities whisper the soul of Vietnam in two different tones. One lives in the shadow of grandeur, the other, in the light itself. In this chapter, not only history will speak, but the living heart of Vietnam. People, voices, traditions, and perhaps, a spirit that has never changed for centuries. And you are not just a spectator on this journey. In every scene, you stand between past and present. Because Hue and Hoi An are not just cities, they are gateways through time. And behind every story, there are small details hidden away. What you see in this documentary is only the surface. For more, for the notes, the history, and the voice of this journey, you can find them in the supplementary guidebook. Now, the journey to Hue begins. Central Vietnam, Hue and Hoi An. When you descend into the heart of Vietnam, you arrive in a geography where time folds and the past permeates the present. Central Vietnam, the historical backbone and spiritual center of the country, passing from the rugged mountains of the north to the humid deltas of the south. This place is like a transition point where Eastern philosophy intersects with Western influence, where royal nobility intersects with the vibrant life force of the people. On one side, Hue, which still commands respect with its grandeur. On the other, Hoi An, enchanting with its colors. These two cities are the two main keys to understanding Vietnam's past and identity. Map note. Approximately 670 kilometers south of Hanoi, accessed via Da Nang. Hue, the Imperial City. Hue, built on both banks of the Perfume River, Hong Giang, is an ancient city that was once the capital of the Nguyen dynasty. From 1802 to 1945, the heart of the Vietnamese Empire beat here. Today, it is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and speaks not only with stones, but with rituals, colors, and silence. If you enjoyed the content, please leave a like and subscribe to join me on this journey. Let's enrich the conversation with your comments. Your feedback is truly valuable to me. History and heritage. When Emperor Gia Long declared Hue the capital at the beginning of the 19th century, he built a large palace complex inspired by the Forbidden City in Beijing. This palace was named the Forbidden Purple City, Tra Que Cam Thanh. Large courtyards, ceremonial pathways, red column throne halls, and roofs decorated with dragon motifs. Hue, at that time, was not just a capital, it was an ideology. Seen as the reflection of God's order on earth. One of the most dramatic moments in Hue's history. occurred during the 1968 Tet Offensive. The Battle of Hue was one of the bloodiest clashes of the Vietnam War. The city changed hands for weeks, palaces were ruined. But just like Vietnam itself, Hue rose from the ashes. Today, the restored gates, courtyards and temples still bear the traces of that trauma, but also tell the story of the beauty of survival. Spiritual fabrics. The Thien, Pagoda, rising on the banks of the Perfume River, is the spiritual symbol of the city. This 7-story temple is one of the most sacred points of Vietnamese Buddhism. In the early morning hours, the chants of the monks mingle with the scent of incense echoing over the river. Every breath in Hue is like a prayer. Cuisine and flavors. Hue cuisine is referred to as Imperial cuisine. Every dish is prepared with an aesthetic presentation, because during the Nguyen dynasty, dining was considered a performance. Bun Bo Hue, made with beef, lemongrass, fermented shrimp paste and chili. Every spoon carries both the order of the north and the spice of the south. Local delicacies such as ban koi, rice pancake, and nemli, meat skewers wrapped in lemongrass, are also found in Hue's streets. People and daily life. Today, Hue is a city that is both silent and lively at the same time. At sunrise, students cycle along the river bank. In the evenings, the elderly sit and meditate while burning incense. Life flows slowly here, but everything is lived with a conscious rhythm. Hoi An, City of Light, Trade and Culture. About 120 kilometers south of Hue, a few hours' journey brings you to the most enchanting city in central Vietnam, Hoi An. This small port city, between the 15th and 19th centuries, was one of the most important centers of Asian trade networks. Map note: 30 kilometers south of Da Nang, on the banks of the Tu Bon River. Historical layers. Hoi An's old name was FIFO. Here, Chinese merchants, Japanese samurai, Arab sailors, and later, Portuguese missionaries would meet. This mixture has permeated the city's architecture, cuisine, and even its languages. The Japanese bridge, Chua Cao, built in 1590, is a symbol of friendship, and is still the most photogenic spot in the city today. City of Lanterns. Hoi An's heart begins to beat at night. The Lantern Festival, held every full moon, is a ceremony where all electricity is turned off and thousands of lanterns are lit. The streets fall silent, only the sounds of music and prayer are heard. Lights drifting on the river bridge the past and the future. Every lantern is a wish. One is released for love, one for health, one for peace. As the lights blend with the water, Hoi An turns into a dream. If you enjoyed the content, please leave a like and subscribe to join me on this journey. Let's enrich the conversation with your comments. Your feedback is truly valuable to me. Handicrafts and craftsmanship. Every corner in Hoi An is a workshop. Silk weavers, wood masters, tailors. Here, there is personal labor, not ready-made clothing. A dress is sewn in the morning and delivered in the evening. There is patience among the silk threads, and prayer in the wooden carvings. Hoi An is also famous for craft centers such as Than Ha Ceramic Village and Kim Bong Wood Village. The goods produced in these villages are protected by UNESCO. Culinary culture. Hoi An streets glow with the smell of food. The best-known dish is Cao Lau, a special type of noodle that can only be made with the water from this city's wells. It is a combination of rice, meat, greens and a mystical touch. Another classic is the white rose dumpling, made from thin dough filled with seafood. It takes its name because its shape resembles a white rose. Villages and rural life. Around Hoi An, time slows down even more. Tra Que village is famous for its fresh herbs and organic farming. In the first light of the morning, villagers work the soil with their hands, teaching tourists how to plant rice and harvest herbs. This experience makes you feel the essence of Vietnam, living in harmony with nature. A little further, Cam Thanh village is hidden among the coconut forests. The water channels are navigated with bamboo boats, fung chai. Women sing folk songs, men mend nets. Life here is simple, but flows with deep wisdom. The spirit of central Vietnam. The nobility of Hue, the dream of Hoi An, the peace of the villages, all unite to reveal the spirit of central Vietnam. This is not just a place. It is a state of awareness. The wind passes through ancient stones. The smell of incense merges with the river, and you slip out of time without noticing. Central Vietnam doesn't just tour you, it transforms you. Supplementary information boxes 1. Historical and cultural notes. Hue was the capital of the Nguyen dynasty between 1802 to 1945. This dynasty represents the last imperial period of Vietnamese history. In 1945, the monarchy ended when Emperor Bao Dai abdicated after the Japanese occupation. The forbidden Purple City, Tra Que Cam Thanh, was severely damaged by bombardment during the French colonial period. Today, it is under UNESCO protection and is one of Vietnam's longest-running restoration projects. The Perfume River, Hong Giang, gets its name from the aromatic flowers that fall into the river from the forest during spring months. Legend says the river carries the wishes of those who pray to the gods. The Thien New Pagoda, 1601, is one of the oldest Buddhist temples in the country. In its garden, the car used by the Buddhist monk Thich Quang Du before he self-immolated in 1963 is displayed. This is a symbol of the struggle for religious freedom in Vietnam. Cuisine brings the splendor of the royal palaces to the table. In the ceremonial meals called Ban Cung Din, nearly 50 small dishes were served, each one symbolizing status, elegance and order. Hoi An was the center of Asian maritime trade between the 15th and 19th centuries. It was a port of call for Japanese, Chinese, Arab and Dutch merchants. This cultural mix is still felt in the architecture, street art and cuisine. The Japanese bridge, Chua Cao, built in the 16th century, connects the Japanese quarter on one side and the Chinese quarter on the other. This bridge has become a symbol of the peaceful coexistence of the two cultures. Hoi An ancient town was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1999. More than 1,100 historical structures are still preserved with their original materials. The Lantern Festival takes place every full moon night. The electricity is cut off, and the city glows only with the light of candles and lanterns. This tradition is a symbol of both respect for ancestors and enlightenment. Tra Que village is a community that has been doing organic farming for 300 years. Its soil, fertilized only with river moss and mud, grows the most aromatic herbs in Vietnamese cuisine. Cam Thanh village was a shelter for Viet Minh resistance fighters during the war, and now offers visitors a blend of history and nature with water forest tours using bamboo boats. Cao Lau noodles can only be made with the special alkaline water drawn from the wells of Hoi An. Therefore, the same taste cannot be achieved in any other city. Additional information box 2. Travel and practical information. Transportation. The distance between Hue and Hoi An is 120 kilometers. The most impressive route passes through the Hai Van Pass, with the ocean on one side and mountains lost in the clouds on the other. This is considered Vietnam's most breathtaking land route. Train journey. The train line extending from Hue to Da Nang is described by UNESCO as one of the most picturesque train routes in Asia. Along the way, the Perfume River delta, fishing villages and endless rice fields are seen. Climate. It is under the influence of a tropical monsoon. The rainiest period is September to December, and the most ideal period is between February to May. Hoi An carries a flood risk during this period, while Hue is famous for its foggy mornings. Accommodation. Boutique hotels on the riverside in Hue are generally converted from old French villas. In Hoi An, traditional, homestay, houses facing the lantern-lit streets are the richest option in terms of cultural experience. Food and drink. In Hue, Bun Bo Hue and Nem Ly must be tried. In Hoi An, Cao Lau and white rose dumpling are a ritual. Fresh coconut water and the melodies of street musicians accompany the evening markets. Activities. A boat tour on the Perfume River in Hue, an evening lantern ceremony in Hoi An, a morning farming workshop in Tra Que Cam, a bamboo boat trip in Cam Thanh. Mood. In Hue, history invites you to silence. In Hoi An, colors dance every evening. In one, the echo of the past. In the other, the pulse of life beats.